Hey, welcome to day 6. One thing I was thinking about this morning, which kind of blows my mind, I've been talking to some people lately, and, something that I get from folks is I'm too old to open a business, it's too late, or people say, oh, you need to open a business when you're young, because if you do it when you're young, you have all this time to build the relationships and build the business up. I was looking at something here. Did you know that Colonel Sanders opened the first Kentucky Fried Chicken when he was 62 years old? Julia Child wrote her first cookbook at the age of 50. Laura Ingalls Wilder, from I love Little House on the Prairie. She actually was in her late 60s when she began writing Little House on the Prairie, and the first book was Little House in the Big Woods, right? So it's never too late. It doesn't matter age. Age doesn't matter at all because you don't know how long it's going to take for you to achieve whatever results it is that you want. You want to start a business? Go start a business. You can be a complete and total rock star. Ray Kroc, the founder of McDonald's, he was in his 50s before he opened the first McDonald's restaurant in 1954. I mean, I want to open a huge restaurant chain and have McDonald's type success, don't you? If I can, I'm only 47. I got plenty of time. So you never know. You never know what I can do, and you never know what you can do. Grandma Moses, she actually didn't even get her start until she reached her 60s. Duncan Hines. He spent a lot of time eating out and decided at the age of 55 he would write a book about his culinary experience. Duncan Hines started when the gentleman was 55 years old. It's never too late, ever. And Sam Walton, he didn't even open the first Walmart until he was 44 years old. Look at Walmart now. It's amazing. Maybe you're the next Walmart. People thought that Sears would be around forever too. And, I know that there are some other big organizations right now that we think, hey, how could they ever go away? Well, folks thought Sears would be around forever. You could be the next big thing. And I believe in you, and I think you can start anything. It really doesn't matter where you are right now in your life. You could be anywhere, doing anything. And maybe what you're doing right now is just preparing you for your big thing. I can't tell you how many times I've been going down a road and I'm like, why am I doing this? And then you look back on it later and you see, hey, I was doing that because that was training me and setting me up for my next big win. And I think what you're doing right now, whatever it is you're in training right now for your next big win, because we're taking steps together. It's been 5 days. You've done some things. You've created some lists. You're feeling good. You're being positive. You're approaching negative circumstances in your life with the positivity of reading 7 times. This is going to be the greatest day of my life. And we're going to do that again today in a minute. There was a couple more. I don't know. Stan Lee, before he passed away, he was still active and working at the age of 95. Did you know that he didn't even start doing things with comic books until he was in his 40s? I just think it's amazing. When you look across, Nelson Mandela was in his 40s when he found his voice as an activist. And he continued to speak out until he was elected his country's president at the age of 76. It's never too late. And the list goes on. I mean, it's just person after person that you would know, and you look at their accomplishments and what they've done, and it blows me away. I love reading this. I'm from Colorado, and one of our favorite folks in Colorado is Bob Ross. Bob actually dropped out of school in the 9th grade and enlisted in the Air Force, where he spent the next 20 years yelling orders and taught himself how to paint. He taught himself how to paint so he could relax. Bob Ross, some happy little trees over here. Imagine him being a drill sergeant barking orders at soldiers. Truly, truly amazing. And look who he is, and look what you remember him for. So it doesn't matter what you're doing right now in your life. That's probably not what people are going to remember you for. They're going to remember you for doing greater things. How different is being a drill sergeant versus being Bob Ross the painter with happy little trees and the calmest, most collected individual that I can remember ever seeing on TV. Look how different that is. You can do it too. It doesn't matter who you are today or where you are today. You can be anything you want to be tomorrow, and you can be successful at it. You can be remembered for it. You can make money. You can be famous. Anything you want to do. People, if anybody else has done it, you can do it. And I believe you can. I went from being a handicapped guy in a wheelchair to having anything that I want in life. And, it's just... And I just truly believe this, and I know that you can do it. A couple more that I noticed here that I thought was really interesting. Vera Wang. Did you know that Vera Wang was 40 when she opened her first boutique? Who doesn't know who she is? She didn't get a start until later in life. I'm starting with my kids now. They're young and impressionable, and I can get them pumped up and teach them about how to take the appropriate steps to be successful, and it is a pleasure for me to do so as a father. You can tell everything you ever wanted to know about a person by meeting their family, because people put their time and their money where their heart is. And I'll tell you what, my heart is with my wife and my 2 daughters. They mean everything to me. That's your home team. We don't argue or fight in our house, and this is the reason why. I don't argue with my wife. I don't argue with my children because they're on my team. And when somebody and if I win an argument with them, then they lose. So that means somebody on my team lost. And for me, when one person on my team loses, we all lose. There's no way you can all win as a team if one person on your team is losing as a result of, arguments, things like that. We just don't do that in our house. We support each other, we love each other, and I reinforce that constantly with my family. Hey, we love each other, we support each other, let's do this together. Be close with your family. There is nobody who wants to see you succeed more than your wife or your spouse and your children. Nobody. They're fully invested with you. If you're successful, they're successful. As you move up the ladder, up this chain that you're climbing, and when you reach the top, they're going to be the ones that are going to benefit along with you. So they support you 100%, and you need to recognize that and love them for that. Treat them good. It's just part of being a successful person is having good relationships, and I think good relationships start at home. Okay, I grew up in a household where we had arguing and fighting, and I had younger siblings, and we didn't get along when I was growing up, and I had a mother that had lost her husband and just kind of lost it, period, I guess you could say. She kind of went into a deep depression for many years, and nothing was ever good. Nothing was ever good enough. And it was just kind of like living in a cave. It was challenging growing up in my household, to say the least. But I learned some incredible lessons. And the best thing that I took from that was that I knew what I didn't want my household to be like someday. I knew that I wanted to have fantastic relationships with my kids and my wife. And if I were to have that, I wasn't supposed to live past the age of 30, so I didn't ever think that I would actually have a family. But now that I do, it's the most important thing to me. Besides doing this every day, which I really enjoy, I got a message yesterday, and it tickled me to death. I was so happy to see this. Hey, Doug, day 5 video was awesome. We are all a bundle of habits. That's an awesome, hang on here. Okay, that's an awesome way to look at our programming. I'm going to continue to capitalize on your advice tomorrow. I'm shopping at a grocery store that's up north, and I'm taking a different route to work, just to break up the programming and shake up the cycles in my routine. Nailed it. Perfect. That's exactly what we all should be doing. We should all be just shaking things up a little bit. If we're not, the results you're getting right now are in direct relation to the actions and activities you're engaging in. It's in direct relation to the people that you're engaging with. If you're engaging with negative people who are coming at you with a lot of drama and, this can't be done, that can't be done. Personally, I have no time to spend any time with people who want to talk about how things can't be done. I've watched amazing things be accomplished by people where others thought, hey, that's not going to work out. And they kind of laugh and snicker, because when folks change, everybody kind of thinks, hey, they're not the same anymore. And people kind of push against change, I think, unless they decide to change on their own. You can't force change on people. And when you change personally and you're moving up in your life and you're moving on and greater things and better things are happening for you, and you're taking better attitudes towards other people's opinions and approaches, you're changing. And that's kind of forcing that change on them. People are going to push back on you a little bit. Just brush it off and just keep moving forward. If it gets tough, reach in your pocket or wherever you have your little piece of paper, pull it out and read 7 times. Today is going to be the best day of my life. I want you to keep doing that. Reinforce that in your mind as many times as you can every day. Read that. Today is going to be the best day of my life. 7 times over, as many times as you can during the day. It's going to change your entire outlook. It's going to change everything for you. I like my friend T from Denver that, he's going to go to a different grocery store. Shop somewhere else. Do something different than you normally do. Meet new people, talk to new people, and when your old friends and the people that you normally hang out with come to you with old ideas or old beat down conversations about negativity and whatever, my kids and so on and so forth. Here's one thing I don't do. I don't do business with people who talk negatively about their children. Where do you think that the children learned the behaviors that they're exhibiting? When our kids are born, they're an empty glass. And it's our job as a parent, as we move forward, to fill that glass with good things and to teach our kids, positive attitude, positive outlook, how to be successful. That's on us. When our kids are young, it's our responsibility as a parent for who they are. When our kids are adults, it's their responsibility for who they are. And I take that very seriously, and it's very important to me. Being a good parent and being a good husband or a good spouse is really important to me. And I know I keep reiterating that today, but that's just kind of where I'm at. Yesterday was my wife's birthday, and what a great day that was. I got to take her out and spend some time with her. And we woke up this morning, and, she said to me, I really had fun on my birthday yesterday. We really didn't do a lot. We didn't do anything extravagant or special. Everybody thinks, hey, you guys probably did this, that. I took my wife to a video game place, and we played skee ball. And we shot some baskets they had a video game there with basketballs, and we shot that. And we played a couple of video games where we were shooting some things and together, and we did the one where you get into the car and you drive, and mine was totally broken, but she won, and that's okay. And we just had a great time, and I just enjoyed it so much. I'm looking forward to many more birthdays with her, and it's my pleasure to be able to do that. I just noticed something that Tom Allen is 90 years old. And he's considered Britain's oldest yoga instructor. He didn't even think of becoming a yoga instructor until he was in his 60s. I want you to keep this in your mind. There are people out there doing things at every age. I know kids that are teenagers that are multimillionaires. And I know people who are in their 60s and 70s. It's exactly the same. It doesn't matter what your age are. What matters is your mindset. It matters what programming you're putting into your brain. And right now, in the evening, I assume that yesterday everybody took their list of things that they want in their life, our wish list. You put that on your nightstand. You read it last night before you went to sleep. I hope you had dreams about your dreams. That's important to just feel supported. And I'm wishing and I'm hoping and I'm rooting for you. I bet you woke up this morning and you read your list, and if you took it with you to work today, great. Read it at lunch and then bring it home and read it again tonight. These are all things that you can have. Everything was an idea at one point in time. Look at Wilbur and Orville Wright. The airplane was always there. It's just they discovered it and it was their idea, right? But the ability to fly has always been there. It's just they became aware of it. And the first time they got that plane up in the air, they got it up there for 12 minutes. And I bet there were a lot of people who were like, oh, well, they only got it up there for 12 minutes. But I guarantee you, Wilbur and Orville Wright were like, we had that thing up in the air for 12 minutes. We went, this distance, and it's fantastic. And I bet they were so excited for their accomplishment. This is what I want you to do for you, and get excited about what it is that you want to do. Read that list as many times as you can every day. The minimum I'm recommending is just before you go to bed and when you wake up in the morning. But as you get more and more excited and your way of thinking changes, I think you're going to be reading that list more and more as you start to see actionable activities occur around you, and you take advantage of those as you're moving closer and closer to your goals. And I do believe in you. Yesterday, as we were out, I got to thinking about something. Babe Ruth, what do we remember him for? He's the home run king, right? His baseball cards sell for tremendous amounts of money. He was a complete and total rock star in the baseball arena, right? You remember him for home runs, for being a big hitter, right? He was a big hitter. He had an average batting average of .342, which means he only hit the ball 34% of the time. But we remember him for, whenever you think of Babe Ruth, Babe Ruth's up to bat. He probably hit the ball all the time. About 1/3 of the time, he hit the ball or put the bat on the ball. And, we don't have to be perfect to achieve our goals or have big things happen for us. So about 2/3 of the time, he was striking out. But we don't learn anything from winning. We only learn from losing. Losing is where we garner value and we learn lessons that allow us to make little changes so that we can be successful. So if Babe Ruth is considered the king of all time and he was only hitting the ball about 1/3 of the time, what can you do? You only have to win 1/3 of the time to be remembered as a complete and total hero and God in your area of specialty or your area of interest. So we have the ability we don't have to hit a home run every time. Sometimes we're just in training. Sometimes we're just learning some lessons that are going to allow us to eventually have the success we want. And you're going to have success. I'm showing you how. You take these steps and you do the things I'm showing you, you're going to win. And you are going to win big. And it's going to be huge. And I can't wait to hear all about it. If you're doing some fun things or think you're changing some things or you have some ideas for other people as to what they might consider changing or looking at, it's giving you great results, please put it in the comments. People are reading the comments. And let's help each other out to be successful. I'm going to close the video for the day. Just with this final comment. Take your piece of paper that you carried with you yesterday and set that aside. I want you to write down on a brand new piece of paper 7 times, today is going to be the best day of my life. And when circumstances come up, you're going to pull that piece of paper out. You'll step away. You'll pull that piece of paper out, take a couple of deep breaths, and read over 7 times. Today is going to be the best day of my life, and I guarantee you, it will be. I know it's going to be. I believe in you. You can do amazing big things. It doesn't matter where we are, who we are, or what type of background we come from. We can be anything we want to be. I believe in you. I know you're going to succeed. I hope you have the best day ever. I'll see you tomorrow. I'm going to be thinking about you, and I'm rooting for you, okay? Have a great day, friends. I'll talk to you soon.